Okay, so Joshua and the evil genius that he is in cardio has revised the 1506, the beloved 1506, which I deem the best 6.5 on the market, no matter what you're using it for, whether it's just a complete sound quality setup, SPL purposes, daily driver, whatever you want to use it for. This to me is the best 6.5 out. Tremendous output, linearity, and durability. Well, when he revised the 2508G to the 1506, he gave the same features that he gave to the 2508G. The taller surround, increased the piston diameter slightly. He put the iron cloth spider on the 1506, and we all had to wait for him to do something to the 1506 that he did to the 2508G, which was put the heat sink on. Well, putting the heat sink on came with another benefit as well. We know on the 2508G, it increased the motor size substantially. It went from I think a 6.5 inch motor to a 7-inch motor, 7-inch motor in width. When you increase the width of the motor, you increase the surface area of the magnet, which in turn strengthens the woofer as a whole. He did the same thing slightly, it appears to me, when he put the motor on the 1506A. Now, these two revisions from here up are the exact same. Same surround, same spider, same size voice coil, twice base voice coils. Everything is the same there. What I've noticed is that, okay, look at the vent holes here. Look at the vent holes on the 1506A. Particularly look at the size of this hole right here. Let me see if I can get something that can show you. Well, you can use my finger. Huh? Nah, this might do it. This might do it right here. Do you see that? Do you see the girth that pretty much fills it up? All right. Look right there so you can see. Yeah, MBE, I think I can see that pretty much fills up that hole. Correct? Now, you can really see it this way. Let's take a 1506A revision and look at the size of its motor. Lay that back down so you can see this, the size increase slightly. He had to modify the back plate on the 1506A to accommodate these larger, far larger vent holes. You can scale it here. And you see how it looks there, right? Now watch this. I got room to bounce around. I have no room, very little room to bounce here. A lot of movement here. This added vent hole, this increased space on this vent hole to cool the inside of the former. And there are holes inside this up top to increase the airflow on the inside of the former. And then look how large the holes got in comparison. Yeah, look at, you see how big the holes are? You got 6 here. I'll put these together. You got 6 holes on the 1506. On the 1506A, you got 8. Substantially larger holes. Also, he had to modify this back plate on this motor and made it a little bit bigger, slightly, to accommodate this larger vent hole, because the voice coil is still the same on both models. But the bottom plate had to be modified, and different magnetic slugs had to be used. So this is actually a slightly bigger motor than this motor. Specs are roughly the same, but this motor is going to be a little bit stronger. Now, both of them are supercharged, but because of that added metal, it's going to be the added metal plus the heat sink, he's going to be able to cool far faster than the old revision. And you can see this visible improvement. Also, with that added mass, that added low carbon steel, that added metal is going to increase the magnetic flux inside the gap. So now it's even stronger than what was even before you supercharge it. Now, of course, I recommend with any hand-built driver, you might, if you're gonna pay the price to get a hand-built driver, you might as well make it supercharged. So these are two supercharged drivers, and as you can see, the 1506A, it has considerably more girth, larger magnetic slugs, just slightly. I think maybe an eighth of an inch. The bottom plate is different. Plus, that coupled with the heat sink gives it more mass. That added mass is going to be able, for the heat that's generated inside the coil, will be able to dissipate far faster than it will in the 1506. So once again, he has improved the performance. I'm enamored. I am thrilled that I have the ability to sell DD, become a DD dealer. Well, I am a DD dealer. I'm enamored that I have became a DD dealer, because their products are light years ahead of the competition. Light years ahead of the competition. And when he does a revision, when he does a different version, you actually can see the performance. 600 watts RMS, 750, and you can see why he can honestly and justifiably say that. Get at me at 404-694-4818 if you'd like to get any DD products, especially if you want to get the baskets or logos and dust caps, stuff like that. This is a standard supercharged. This is a custom build. He didn't get the basket done because he's not getting plexiglass. But this is just a quick breakdown to show you what all Joshua has done to improve the performance of already stellar. There's no other 6.5 in its class that can match it on output, linearity. I mean, there's nothing even remotely close that can compare to this woofer. Nothing.